I'm Mark, and this is The Country Life with Columbus Mark, where I try to bring you a lighthearted look at life in the country. And you know, I have a camper van. Some of you've seen it in other videos. I've had that thing for a little bit over 3 years, but I'm not too handy. I mean, I've tried to do projects. This is something I built once. You can see here after a year it's still standing, but I'm not too good at these kind of things. So this video is all the things you can do without a nail, without a screwdriver, without a screw, without a pitchfork or any of that stuff. It's things I use: magnets, Velcro, and command strips, and other little things. So let's come take a look. So I'm going to be showing you several things, not necessarily in any order. Now let me give you a start. First of all, this is the living part of the van. You can't see it because Danny's sitting back there, but it didn't have any cup holders. So, a little cup holder thing, big, small, and a big slot in the middle. I put my Kindle reader in there, and it's fantastic. You can wash the cover. And on this side over here, Danny, you can just point this, another cup holder over here that's supposed to go down between the sofa, but I bent it when I put the sofa up, wasn't paying attention. But I had my little night lights in here that I love these things because they're dimmable and rechargeable, and I can use them instead of my overhead lights at night. Okay, so when you enter my van, you'll see my little welcome whiteboard. Went up with command strips, a great place to leave myself a note or maybe a happy message for any visitors. I don't get many visitors. It also has 3 little hooks for keys. I have my fly swatter and a lei, etc. from a camp trip I went on a while back. So they want you to keep the humidity low in all of your campers, like your house. So I have this little meter that reads the humidity level, and it's just Velcroed on. And this is 3 years old, same batteries, working great. 46% in here, a little high, but that's because I took a shower today. But to help with my humidity, I have a little Eva-Dry or Eva-Dry. What I like about this is it is rechargeable. You don't throw it away. So once you, the little beads go from dry, which is yellow, to dark, or it looks green, to dry, I mean wet. Once it goes to wet and it's full, then you pop it around, pull out the plug, and plug it in the wall, and it will dry out in a few hours. I will say it gets hot when it's drying out, and I always unplug it if I'm not going to be around. So I really don't have anything that uses magnets. My little refrigerator door over here, Danny, if you can swing this way, all these stickers, everybody at home puts their kids' pictures with magnets on them and whatever, but these are all places I've visited in this van, and I just use double-sided tape, Scotch tape. Hopefully they'll come off and clean up easily. There is one thing over here that I did use 4 screws. I was brave and I was nervous when I did it. But it supposedly installs with this really heavy-duty tape, like is what's used to hold up that paper towel holder. This is called an anything keeper, and I love it. And so again, it hooks with tape. But when I put it on the first time, I put it on backwards because remember, I'm not very handy. So when I pulled it down, I used up like the main adhesive. But I used that adhesive to hold it in place. Well, I did put 4 screws in. I was not doing clickbait, but that's what happened. But it's called an anything keeper, and you pull it down, and I love it. I keep little things in here. This is the one at night I use to put my keys and my loose change and my chapstick and my ballpoint pen in at night. Also keep my little miniature sewing kit, which I never thought about until one day I popped a button on my short pants and I needed to sew it on. And I have 2 of these, one on either side. And this one's Anything Keeper. The same company makes one called an Everything Keeper, which is slightly deeper. I think it's the same width. Here it's made of metal. Comes with a little mesh silicone pad to hold things in place. A little handle. I love it. And it does have magnets to help hold this in place, but I've never had that to be an issue. And they also make one called a Coffee Keeper that uses little Keurig cups, and it has little slots for all these sets of coffee. So this van is fantastic, and it's got reading lights up here, 2 of them. But the problem is the control to turn those off is over there on the wall, 4 feet away. So if you're here reading and you're getting sleepy, and now you want to go to bed, you got to get up and turn off the lights, and you wake yourself up again. So I got this little clip-on light that is little goosenecks, and they're very clever, and they're independent bright and half bright with a clip, and they're bendable, and that's what I was using to read with. But then I ended up getting a Kindle, which is lit by itself. But just for my night lights, or if I need to get up and go over there, you already saw this, my little bitty dome. I have 2 of these, and they're rechargeable batteries I use. They're not USB rechargeable, but they're really nice and last a long time. So you never can have enough plugs, right? I mean, this van has got, I counted one time how many 110 outlets, plenty. And it's got a lot of USB outlets, plenty. But can you have too many? I don't think so. So this was an adapter I put here, and it just replaces the 2 standard 110 plugs that are over here. You take out the center screw, they give you new one that's longer to put in. So it gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 110 outlets. It gives you 1, 2, 3 USB charging plugs, and I already forgot what this one is, but it's something else. It must be charging. I can't read it. My eyes are not that good, Danny. But it's something tiny. But these are 3 USB-Cs, I can tell you that much. Okay, I only wish they had this in brown when I was buying it, and I haven't checked to see if they do have it in brown. But that's a fix I did in like 5 minutes that anybody can do with 1 screw, but I didn't have to make any new screw holes. So I have a couple of these little storage things. They're collapsible, and they're really meant to be things for to keep kids occupied when you're on a trip. But they're great because if I have to move them, I can, but I'm usually traveling by myself. I have all kinds of things I keep in here. It's got little pockets in places, but this is another thing I have I love. Little Bissell Vacuum cleaner. Pops out, USB rechargeable. It's got the little, plenty of suction. Keep my van clean. So one of my latest features in this Class B is my range extender. I'm really proud of this. This sits over in the side. It's called Trip Tips. It is my portable toilet. And you might say, why do I need a portable toilet when I've got a nice fancy throne over here? Well, there are times I am completely winterized and I just need one use. Or there are times when my tank is almost full and I'm not sure. Or there are times when I have just dumped and cleaned my tank and I'm on a day trip or 2 and I don't want to use it because I'm saving up my capacity for my next big trip. So I pull this little baby out, slide it down, makes the stool, locks into place, pop up the lid. I've already got the bags in there. Oops, got some chemical poo powder in there. And I sit down. It looks kind of low to the ground, and it is, but I have a special place I put it that I actually have it up 3 feet and have a way to get up off the ground. It's time to close it. Smash it down. Of course, you want to have your bag emptied first. You want to leave the bag and everything you waste in it, and there you go. My range extender. And one more thing in my bathroom, and this may be just a Pleasure-Way thing, it has a window. Ooh, that's bright. With this little curtain, and the window's not open, and I guess if I wanted to sit on the toilet and look at people and wave, I could, but I don't, so the curtain just stays up. But when you take a shower, the company gives you a piece of material that goes around over the curtains. That's like a waste of time. So I have just a tension rod here with a waterproof blackout curtain, and it's great. Just leave it there all the time. Saves me a lot of work. So in my bathroom, again the wet bath, where you have to cover everything before you take a bath, it came with 2 110 outlets down here, but it did not have that waterproof cover. And I thought, that's crazy. And yes, you do run the shower curtain over that, but I still thought that was crazy. So that was a little adapter plug I picked up, cover, and it just takes a screw that's already there and put it on. I will say, it'd be good to have someone helping you. I did it by myself, and it took a while to get it in place because a little spring was in the way. But it works great. So in my wet bath, of course, you have to step into the shower pan, and sometimes you have on shoes, and you don't want to get grit or little pieces of pebble stuck in there, maybe break it. It's made of fiberglass, I suppose. So I have a double duty mat. This is actually meant to be a bath mat to wear, to put in the shower. Water goes through it. It's porous, it's washable, but it's really nice. And I keep it in there all the time. And then at home, after every 2 trips or so, I'll just wash it out and let it dry. But it protects the floor, and water does go through it. Now, when I take the shower, I do take it out because I don't need it sopping wet for the next day while I'm driving around. But I keep it in here all the time just for daily use. All right, I'm still coming to you from the bathroom. And, you know, mine's a wet bath, so everybody knows that it gets real wet. I have to run this curtain around when I take a shower. But to help save some time, I put all my little things, beauty products, I don't know what you call them, in these plastic bins that fit on a little shelf. And I have 2 of them. Just couldn't hear that. I have 2 of them. I just pop those out, get them out of the way. Saves a ton of time. So you can't really see in my bathroom, and that's probably a good thing. I keep it clean, but you know, we avoid that. But I'll say the former owner, across the top, he put 2 command hooks and a separate towel rack just because he and his wife travel, and I guess they have lots of towels. So the towel rack is wrapped up inside of this curtain here, but it can sit up here. But I love things that do double duty. So let me show you what I use this towel rack for. And I'll do that in a second. So that towel, I don't mean towel, yeah, towel rack, towel holder, what do you call those things that was in there? I keep it up here above my cab, and I have this blackout curtain wrapped around it. So if I'm going someplace just for one night and I don't want to put the window shades in that take a bit of a time, I unroll this, I put it up here, and I am good to go. I take my clothespin and hook it to there, and that's it. Okay, here we're at the kitchen. Here's my sink. It came with a cover. The cover weighs a lot. It's meant to be a cutting board. This is too nice of a material for me to cut on, so I leave it at home, and instead I got this little handy thing that rolls up. But it's nice because you unroll it and it's rigid, and it becomes a cover in a way. A drying rack is perfect. And over here, I do have a 2-burner stove hidden away here, but to help protect that when I'm not cooking, I have this silicone mat. And I have these little trivet things that I don't need 2, but I have a thing for fruit and stuff. These little hooks over here are great. They're just suction cup hooks. Danny, and we'll slide over here. I have one over here. And you just put them on, smash them down, you know, make sure the wall's clean, flat surface, smooth surface, and you turn it. And I'll say in over 3 years, maybe this one's fallen off twice, and maybe this one's fallen off 2 or 3 times, but they're cheap and they work great. This is a little thing that my friend Maxine made. You put your bags in there and you pull them out the bottom. So I forgot while I was in the kitchen my paper towel holder. This just comes with that heavy duty tape. It is removable. You have to pry it off and then use a heat gun to clean it up. But this thing has been here for about 2.5 years, never fallen off. People say, how do I keep my paper towels from unrolling? Well, I just squeeze the roll and it keeps from doing that. And I love that thing. And let's see, if you come down this way, we have my trash can. Little trash bag holder that fits over the door like this, comes off. And well, I hate these little throwaway bags and only use them when I'm getting ready to go on a camping trip. Guess you have to have a plastic bag somehow or other. So here's my, of course, fantastic fan, and this is a cover, insulated cover, no screws needed. Well, you put screw back in to hold the little face plate, but I didn't have to drill anything. This little toggle, it pulls down and it just zips over and zips over. It's a blackout and it's got Velcro up here. So when you order it, you have to take measurements and send them a picture and stuff. but it slides into place. You have to pull your not the vent fan out, but just the faceplate. 4 screws do that. And in the winter or even in summer, I have a piece of Reflectix I cut that I can put recess in here, and that gives it a little more insulation. But then when you don't need it, you just roll it up and use the toggle to hold it in place. Nothing unusual here, but on the back of my passenger seat, I have my little organizational thing. Helps me store things like some bug spray, a little trowel, camera lens cleaner, a flashlight, pocket knife, a measuring tape, all kinds of stuff. Some paper and pens, and my show decals, a weather radio, and I actually have something kind of like that on the front side. That's my portable office, but it's handy. And of course, this seat does swivel around, so I guess if I needed something on this side, I'll have to remember to get it or just reach around. I bought a set of these 3 trays on Amazon. Nothing much to them, very inexpensive. All 3 of them stack, and they came stacked. I use them for several things. One, it's right here by my entranceway, so I put wet shoes or just dirty shoes there. But also in the front of my van, see, normally I don't have any passengers with me. I use them to put wet things, like when I have my power cable here, I'll just throw it on top of these 2 trays. Came in a pack of 3, remember? These are my levelers, which I thankfully don't need at this campground. It's very level. But I put things here, and that helps keep the floorboard clean. Yeah, there's a mat underneath it too, but might as well use all 3 of them since they came as a set. Very cheap. I do have a couple of these Accurite thermometers. And so one is indoor, and that's the inside of my camper here. And the other one says out. I have the sensor for that one is in my lithium battery compartment, so I'll make sure that they don't go below freezing if I plan to attempt to charge them. But I'm never out generally when it's that cold. So I have 2 sets of these, because the other one I use at the back of the camper when I'm sleeping, and I put the sensor just outside somewhere so that I know what the outside temperature is, because that's the only thermometer I have other than one in the cab and the chassis up here at the driver's seat. And that's kind of a pain to walk up here and put the key in the ignition to see what the temperature is outside. And they're cheap too. And they last a long time. This one's 3 years old, and I can't, yeah, I'm sure I've put new batteries in. They just use standard, I think, AA's or maybe AA's. As you all know, you can never have enough plugs, receptacles, etc. So this thing fits in a cup holder, and it just plugs into a empty plug you might have. And you say, but you just used up your plug. But no, because you have 3 more. And each of these actually can turn on and off. And this one has 3 USB plugs as well. So that has come in very handy. And I still have cup holders to spare. So if you have a camper van like me, you know how when you slide the door open, it goes all the way back, even when you may not want it to. Or if you're on a hill, it slides closed on you. Well, this is a little thing I found. I'm not even sure what the name of it is. Let me move my door so you can see it. And it just goes with some included little strip, and it goes where you want it. So when you open the door, it stops right here. You do have to jerk it to get it closed again or open the rest of the way, but it's very helpful. You can take it off, but this has been here 8 months. It's not moved yet. I mean, if you take it off, you have to pry it off and then use some heat gun to loosen the adhesive. But I have it placed so when I have the door open, it stops me from accidentally opening it all the way if I'm using my water tank fill down here, because that would break off something for sure and be an issue. So nice little device. I forgot who made it, but I'll put it in the link. Pretty cheap, easy to put on. Even I could do it. So I'm not sure if you can see this or not. This is the back of my van, but I did not have a good place on this small van to store my sewer hose. Yes, the van company has a little compartment, but it was not wide enough to hold the hose with its fitting. And I don't care to go there and take the fitting off and put it on and hope it holds when I'm using it. So good friend Don installed this for me up in, a friend I met from Virginia. and you probably can't see it. You can buy them at Camping World or online. It's a tube, and the tube is adjustable in length. You can also buy them at different lengths depending on how far you need, but it is attached with several good strong zip ties. Been there 2.5 years and has not budged. It's got openings on either end, and you can actually put a little carabiner through or something to make sure the cap doesn't get lost. Okay, the next thing on my van, this was a cargo van originally when it went to the factory, and since they pretty much have it gutted, so if you had a regular cargo van, you would open the back and the lights would turn on. This does not do that. There are no lights back here unless you turn them on before you come back here. So here's a little switch. This is magnetic, and it is great. Very bright. It's been here for years. A little bit of Velcro's holding this on. Just uses batteries, rechargeable or regular, but it is bright and it's come in handy on more than one occasion. So there are a couple of other things on my van that didn't take screws or hammers or whatever. One is this step that goes into my receiver hitch. It's on an extension right now because my bike rack normally goes there. When my bike rack is not there, I like that step for two reasons. One, it's a step. I don't need it as a step, but it's there. The other reason is it's a little extra protection. If I happen to be backing into something, if I tap that might save a little damage, or if someone gets too close to me, it might hit their bumper first, and maybe they'll notice it and not go ramming all the way into my bumper here on my van. The other thing is that safety tape. You see the red and silver or red and white. It does a great job of reflecting light, and it makes my van stick out, and I need all the help I can get. Maybe you picked up a couple of ideas from my video. It's taken a long time to get all the pieces together. I imagine I've missed some things, but you get the idea. If you've got some other ideas of things I could use in this van, put them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll subscribe, like, share, all that stuff. Welcome to my neighborhood, wherever that might be. Okay, this is one of the few things attached as a magnet. So if you know what this is, take advantage of it if you happen to be a geocaching member. It is a travel bug that's traveling on the back of my RV, and you can be the first to record that and get credit. And I'll send you a Country Life decal or 3.